Hi everyone. I'm sure you're all a little bit relieved to know that I'm the last Gettysburg experience that you're going to be hearing tonight. Okay. I'm going to ask you to take a minute and picture yourself climbing a 14,000-foot mountain in Colorado, Mount Chavano. Picture yourself taking along 500 pounds of food and 1,000 pounds of gear. Your trip's going to last you about 11 days, and nighttime temperatures might go down to about -10 degrees. Do you think you can do it? Yeah, you can. You all can. Every single person in this room is capable of doing this trip. You may not think so right now, just as I didn't think I'd ever be able to do a trip like that when I was sitting in your seat. But Gettysburg gives you the chance to do so many things that you would never think possible. My name is Monica Schmidt, and I'm a senior chemistry major. I am the first generation in my family to be born in the United States and the second person to go to college in America. When I first came to Gettysburg College, I decided to get involved in as many clubs and activities as I could. In high school, I was that girl who defined herself as being a member in almost every single club. So when I came to Gettysburg, I thought I would do the same thing. Look around, anything that caught my eye, sure, why not? I'd join it. But it wasn't too long until I realized that college is a lot different than high school. You can't be a member in every single club and be half as dedicated as you'd like to. So what I did is I cut down those 12 clubs that I was a member of to about half, so kept it at 6, and it allowed me to take up a position in 3 of those clubs. So the trip to Colorado, I was able to do that trip because I am a GRAB facilitator. GRAB is Gettysburg Recreational Adventures Board, and GRAB is a program that allows students to partake in different trips in the state, in the country, all around. These trips are in the outdoors, so they're backpacking, kayaking, rock climbing. A couple of you in here might already be familiar with GRAB, as you may have participated in Ascent. I just came back from a kayaking trip with my first years in Maryland, and I know they're in here. My younger sister is also actually a first year. So, yeah. After Maryland, I was able to tell some of my participants all the clubs and activities I'm a part of. So also, other than GRAB, I'm also the vice president of the Pan-Hellenic Council, which is the board that kind of represents all the different sororities on campus. I am a member of the Pre-Health Professions Club, as well as the Student Conduct Review Board, and I'm also the vice president of the Chemistry Club. So when I first came to Gettysburg, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do in life. In high school, I had shadowed a pediatrician a couple times, and I wanted to become a doctor. So the winter of my freshman year, I went to the Center for Public Service on campus, which is a program that really encourages community bonding and community interaction and allows you to try out different immersion projects. So I found an immersion project in Maryland at the University of Maryland Medical Center, and I got to shadow in the shock trauma resuscitation unit at the hospital. So you can only imagine, in the middle of Baltimore, you will see all kinds of things. I saw stabbings, gunshot wounds, I saw hypothermia, I saw ridiculous things. Anyway, this experience was one that I probably would have never gotten the chance to get otherwise if I'd never stepped into the door of CPS and asked about an immersion project. So then the next summer, I decided to do a little bit of research on my own, and I found another immersion project in Costa Rica and Panama. Now, this trip was a little bit different in that it had 2 separate parts. The first half was medical, and the second half was dental. Dentistry was a profession that I'd never really looked at before. You know, I had braces like almost everyone has nowadays, but it wasn't something that I was really that interested in because I didn't know that much about it. So I kind of took a limb and went on this trip, and it was kind of a challenge at first, as I spoke absolutely no Spanish whatsoever. And the patients we were working with were indigenous people of certain tribes, so they either spoke the language of their tribe or Spanish. So needless to say, I had no way of communicating verbally with these patients. So how can you communicate with other people if you can't talk to them? Well, it wasn't too long until I realized that the best way to do so was to communicate through your hands, your actions, and your eyes. So for an example, I was in charge of teaching my patients how to floss and the importance of flossing. So what I did is I took out a piece of floss, I flossed my own teeth, and then I took out a new piece of floss, gave my patients a mirror, let them feel the floss so they could see what it was made from, and I flossed their teeth for them. Then I pointed at their gums so that they could see how much they were bleeding. And then I pointed at my own gums, and I was able to compare their teeth to my own, and they saw how poor their oral health was. Now, some of these patients had never, no one has ever even looked inside their mouths. You know, not needless to say that they've been to a dental office. But anyway, the coolest part about this trip was that I basically got to act as a hygienist. And in the United States, that would never happen. Without any dental background, you would never be able to put a finger inside anyone's mouth, nonetheless, like floss their teeth and scrape away at cavities that they had. So it was really cool. Of course, while I was on the program, we got some training, but I wasn't just digging away. But so after this trip, I was able to really realize the importance of communication. And I was able to calm some of the fear that I saw in these natives' eyes just by showing them how to do things on my own. So this is where I'm going to kind of turn the table back to you guys. And just as I was able to encourage these people to try something new, I'm going to do the same to you. Not to floss, for please tell me, you know, you guys all do floss. But I am going to encourage you to try different clubs, do an immersion project, or play an intramural sport. Go on a grab trip. If you went on ascent, encourage your friends to try something new. Don't let the fact that you've never slept anywhere other than your own mattress deter you from coming on a grab trip. In high school, I had never done anything in the outdoors before. I had never gone kayaking, rock climbing, nothing like that. So when I came to college, I actually learned about Grab from the Student Digest. I saw a post that they were having an information session, and I went to it. And Grab had a PowerPoint up with tons of pictures of the coolest things I thought. I mean, everything that they were showing was just amazing. And it was something that I never tried before, so I really wanted to test it out. So when I was applying, you know, I kind of applied out of a limb, and I didn't think that there was any way that I'd be given a position as a facilitator because I had no experience whatsoever. But what I learned was that not having any experience actually benefited my application. I got past the first round of applicants and I got an interview. And at the interview, I told the director that I was a little bit hesitant because I have no experience. And he said, you know what, that makes you that much better of an applicant. I said, are you kidding me? Like, I've never done any of this. And he said, that's perfect for us because then we can teach you everything. And we can teach it to you the way that Gettysburg has its protocol to be taught. So we learned, I mean, I can't even tell you how much I've learned. Since I've joined Grab, I've led trips all over the place, and I've gone to Arizona rock climbing, I've been to North Carolina in the Outer Banks kayaking. But needless to say, don't let the fact that you may not have any experience in something prevent you from applying for it. Try something new and go out, and don't be afraid. Just remember that every single person in this room is standing in the same shoes that you guys are. So never think that you're alone in this. And if you're afraid, just talk to the person right next to you because they're probably just as afraid as you are. And never forget that there's always a challenge out there. There's always a trip that you can go on. So someone will be out there trekking that mountain with you. Thanks.